Hi folks, in this video I'll be showing you how to create your own increment schemes for your website. So the first thing you want to do to create one is hover your mouse over settings at the top of the page and then click on increment settings, which is the second on the list. Once you're on the page, on the top right hand side you want to click on where it says new increment scheme. From here you'll be able to add a description of the scheme you're creating. So you can give it a title, and then the active checkbox underneath just you can select whether or not it's active and being able to use on your website. And then underneath is the levels, where you can select the highest and lowest amounts for this particular threshold or increment amount. So this being the first level, it's going to start at 0 as the lowest amount, and then let's pick 100 and then have the increment go up by $5 for every bet or bid under $100. Then you can add as many levels as you want. And obviously the next level will continue from the highest point of the lowest level. And then you just keep going up the list until you reach all the increments that you want to do. All the levels you can add. So let's do 500 to 1,000 or 10,000. And then once you're finished with your increment schemes, just be sure to add one last one that goes up to a number that will never be reached on your website, just in case the bids outreach your expectations, just to be sure, so that the system never goes beyond increment schemes or increments. You can of course delete these using the actions on the left hand side. Click on the little bin icon per level, but once you're finished, click on add, and then you'll be taken back to the increment scheme page and you'll have the new increment scheme there. It'll show whether it's active, the ID, the description, and how many levels it has. So now I'm just going to create an auction with the new increment scheme, and I'll show you the differences between a forced increment and just a regular increment scheme on your website. So first off, give me just a couple of minutes to set up my auction. You'll find the increment scheme right underneath the buyer's premium information. And there's a drop down box, and then if you ever forget what your increment scheme is, if you hover your mouse over the little eye icon, it'll show you what that increment scheme looks like once you select it from the drop down box. So now to add my lot, I might just add one lot for the sake of the demonstration. And because I already set the increment scheme on the edit auction page, once this lot's finished being created and uploaded, it'll automatically inherit the increment scheme. And of course that can always be changed if you click into the lot and click on review or edit. And then now to just publish it and then log on as a bidder and place a couple of bids on that auction. So this is my bidder view. I'm logged in as a bidder, opening up the auction. And then once I'm approved to bid, I'll show you exactly what this will look like. So in this case, the starting bid is $100. Increment scheme is going to be the $5 one. Click on bid. So the quick bids will follow the increment scheme. Once that's placed, it'll jump by 5 automatically. But now the difference between a forced increment scheme and a regular one that I have now is that for the max bids, you can put in an amount that doesn't actually follow the increment scheme. So for example here, I was able to put in $106, which obviously is not a $5 increment. But to change that, if you want every single bid to be part of the increment, you just go back to your admin page and then go to your site settings. And then on the second tab under site configs, there's a forced increment button here. Just turn that on, click on save. And then what this will do is, once I'm back on as the bidder, I will be able to, after refreshing the page, try and place another max bid, and the system will tell the user that they have to follow the increment scheme for the max bid to be valid. Let me clear that real quick. Place another max bid for 109, and then you'll be notified that you need to follow the increment scheme for this auction for you to be able to place a max bid. So there you have it folks, that's how you create and use an increment scheme. Thanks again for watching.